So I put the fork in my bike stand, let the air out, did the lower caps on the fork, tapped them in. It's my bottoms of the forks. It's down. That's about how much oil came out either side. Next part of this is to go ahead and take the O clip that you can't see because it's too bright. There it is. O clip right there. Take that out with a set of those. That'll get to your air spring. Once that clips off, you're gonna have to push down on the face of it because there is a little, see if I can get, can't get it, but there's a little square right here, and it prevents the clip from going in and squeezing in. Once you get that clip off, then you're going to pull this whole air shaft out. Make sure to remove the top cap first, otherwise it's going to create negative pressure in there and you won't be able to pull the thing out. That right there is the air spring assembly for a Rockshox 35 Gold RL. And then if we look down the tube, should be able to see. Sorry for my messy workspace, but there's no dimple for your standard, I'm trying to focus it for you. There's no dimple in the stanchion, or in the, yeah, I guess the stanchion at all for air exchange, so this will not function the same way that a typical debonair spring does work. If you wanted to take and make your fork either have more travel or less travel, you would take this little spacer here that I have separated from the other two parts out. So removing that will take my 150 fork and turn it into a 160 fork, which I'm going to do. And then grease and re-grease all your rubber O-rings on this piece. Put a little bit of grease inside the shaft itself, the stanchion, and then reassemble everything. Getting that little clip back in is absolutely horrendous. Get yourself a good pair of ring pliers because you're going to need it. Oh my goodness. I'm happy that's over with. Re-greased all the O-rings. Pulled my all travel spacer, so now it's a 160 millimeter fork, and just greased it, cleaned it up, put everything back together the way you're supposed to. When you put everything back into the shaft, you want to make sure that your debonair spring assembly, even though it's not really debonair, but I guess it is, whatever, Rockshox, whatever, make sure all that's pushed together on that end of the shaft, away from the end. Push it all together, then push it back into the stanchion. That way you have no air gaps or anything like that. And now I'm gonna go and clean up the lowers, put everything back together, and we'll keep going. So the next step that I did was, there is little foam rings right on the inside of the wiper seal, and I just took and added some oil to them, freshen them up, because I just did a lower leg service about 2 weeks ago, but I never got my air spring out. So today was just taking the air spring out and getting rid of one of those all travel spacers, and then putting the whole thing back together. So I've oiled the foam rings. Now I'm going to go ahead and re-grease the wiper seals, and then I'm going to put it all back together. So here we go. Just want to be really, really careful so you get your wiper seals, so that way you're not bending them over when you slide the stanchions on. And then the next part is starting to get this thing to come in. and I can't do it with no hands, so I'll be right back. You should be able to see, leave a little bit of space between the end of the nut on your air shaft and on your rebound damper, or compression damper rebound, so that way you can squirt oil into that dead space in between. The Rockshox 35RL Gold, I think it is 10 cc's or milliliters of 15 weight in the bottom. Once you're done adding your oil to the lowers, go ahead and add 2 milliliters of 5 weight inside the air spring. When that's done, put the cap on, call it a day. Then it's time to build the bike again. Anyways, feel free to ask questions about the 35RL Gold. I'll respond best I can to help you out. The fork, after my last service, it seemed to work quite a bit better. So anyways, hope this helps somebody, and at least you got to see the inside and the air spring, the way it's built. So anyways, have a great day, and we'll see you next time, buddy.